Hello? Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. This is still, I still do this. This is still my show. This is Mad About It. I am your host. Me. With the me. I'm thinking about it, and it's like, am I still Becky? I've been saying this for the last, 4 or 5 episodes, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, you just gotta fucking put your foot down and just come up with a different name for yourself, you know what I mean? But I got no real good ideas at the moment. To be honest, I have been, as you could tell, I've had a bit of a hiatus. I almost every time I complain, I say, "Oh, we got another hiatus," you know. This time, to be honest, it's been the opposite of all the previous hiatuses. I have had so many good things happen to me that I kind of just had some space, and I looked back and I was looking at the thing that I made, and it was you know what? This was a good thing that I did. This is a good thing that I made, but I don't know what to do with it at this point. Do I start from scratch? Do I go make I'm Mad About It 2? I'm Mad About It the sequel, not as mad? Or, or do I just go in a completely different direction? Do I make some sort of, entirely new angle? Because, to be honest with you folks, I'm feeling less queer than ever. And I don't know if it's just me or what. It seems like to me that the mainstream everything has become nothing but queer bait. Maybe it's just that everything's being generated for me, but there's quite literally if you watch anything on any major streaming platform of any kind, it doesn't matter if it's Hulu, Netflix, it doesn't matter what the fuck it is, YouTube TV, fucking any of it, there is some sort of gay plot in everything. I don't really feel the need to curate lists of queer TV for y'all. I also don't feel the need to list queer music and media. You have fucking tons of that shit. I guess to be honest though, it used to be hard to find queer things. I know this is hard to believe. It used to be hard to do these things, and and I think it still is, it's still difficult to find stuff, but there is a bit of an oversaturation of just kind of mainstream queer, palatable queer, queer that you can take to grandma. And I don't, the truth is, I have never been the sort of queer that you can take to grandma. And I don't know if that's because, I don't know. I've just been kind of, and at the same time, I am kind of the ideal queer to take to grandma, because grandma and I, we have similar hobbies, you know what I mean? We like to complain about things we can't understand. But I'm getting off topic. It's really important here. Queer internet has gone completely insane. There was this I don't know, you guys are, you were here, y'all saw it. You saw all the stuff. You saw all the stuff with the lady in the book, with the Chase Ross and the shit, and all the stupid shit that happened with the stupid lady and I read that book. It was a good book. I don't understand what the people's problem is. Here's the deal, folks, people are it's a yes-no world, you know what I mean? I don't know where I fit in that. I'm not a very yes-no person. I like to just kind of acknowledge that there are more than one truth. Often two things can be true. That is, at least two has been my case. I don't understand why everybody wants to I guess it's more clickbaity, you know what I mean? You can share it faster, you can ship it off to your friends, you can be oh yeah, this is my belief, here it is in a box. It's nice and tight, nice and sturdy. And I guess honestly what I'm really talking about is basically all the other queer content creators. They all have they all have their like fan bases, and everybody's got their stuff, and I seem to have this like tight knit group of weirdos that mostly just likes to like talk on WordPress. The WordPress folk, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the deal is. Like, do I go straight WordPressing? Like, do I just focus on? Do I just long haul it and keep my head down? You know what I mean? There's long game here that I've been playing the whole time, and sometimes I get antsy. You know what I mean? But the truth is that I have not been antsy. The truth is I've been depressed about the state of the queer internet. I think it's really fucking sad, and I think it's boring. And to be honest, I don't know if it's just because I just watched the stupid fucking. I watched a bunch of horror movies. I watched a bunch of weird shit. The Squid Games is weird. All this stuff is weird. I've been watching a lot of horror movies, so I probably just am depressed. But I'm just gonna say, I think everybody's fucked. I think everybody's shit's crazy. I think that there's two people that people seem to respect as like queer content authorities, and it's like ContraPoints and Philosophy Tube. And like the irony is not lost on me that there are some obvious truths about those two individuals. If you just take Philosophy Tube and ContraPoints side by side and just kind of compare them, you know, like you know, like one of these was born in America and one of them was not. Like, you know, one's a UK splooge and the other one's a USA splooge. I don't see the big difference. You know what I mean? It's fantastic content from both people, but here's the deal. ContraPoints, you know, a month ago she talked about envy. I straight up. It just kind of gets, it's all kind of like they paint you in a corner where no matter what, they are right. And that's what a good logical argument is, what a good chess player does. These two trans women are fantastic chess players, you know what I mean, so to speak, with their YouTube channels. I have not played chess with either of them. I would like to. That sounds hot and fun. Both fun and hot. But I'm just gonna put it out there, like I don't anticipate a chess invite from either of these people. Am I entitled to a chess invite from either of these people? I guess not. But to be honest, like ContraPoints and I, we basically might have eaten lunch together at some point. Like, we went to the same school around the same time. I don't want to be like we were maybe in the same gender studies classes, but we probably were. I have a feeling that ContraPoints and I, Natalie Wynn, I have a feeling that Natalie Wynn and I could really have a really nice chat, but the point is, besides, the world is not interested in that dialect. The world is not interested in my perspective, and I'm not trying to sound like a bitter, like, woe is me person. I'm just like acknowledging statistically what I see all around us. Basically, if you want to get in sort of what is vogue, what's considered vogue now, what's considered trans now, you either have to be a trans woman or you have to be a assigned female birth non-binary person in order to like get any sort of acknowledgement. And I'm just gonna put it out there, until this rule seems to be not taken too liberally, it really seems like there is a rule against fat representation for non-binary identities. It seems like nobody is allowed to be non-binary and fat without being like, well, of course. Like, I think that's very strange. And what it comes down to is this sort of like fatphobic, image obsessed, narcissist prism of this world that is obsessed with likable, shareable, surface level things, a surface level understanding of the queer universe. And I guess that's that, honestly, you know, to circle back, what it says to what is for the episode, it's just kind of annoying because I am really irritated by the oversaturation of just like surface level queer media nonsense. I know that it's like better than, is it though? I think it's worse. I kind of like, I don't understand. I don't really think it does anybody any favors to just make straight looking, like cis looking actors who are, you know, I guess it's like completely against the rules in every single way and shape and form to say that anybody looks straight or anybody looks cis or anybody looks anything, because you're both not allowed to attack anybody's appearance, but also your entire life and everything that you're doing is communicated with your appearance. Everything about your gender and everything is your appearance. That's what these fucking people do. That's what these fucking people live like. There are I'm sick of pretending like the queer community is not just some sort of like made up Instagram thing that is entirely just an image. Because queer people in real life are just living. They don't look any certain way. They don't act any certain way. Some of them do. And I tell you, they usually, if you're really acting aggressively a certain way, you're usually, you know, that's a gender nonconformance right there. So I find it hilarious that nothing in real life is seeming to get better. Like nothing IRL seems to get better, but according to the internet, there are more allies and more woke people doing awesome shit than ever. I as evidenced by what? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I just, if you're not saying exactly what everybody wants you to say, then they don't want you to talk. And if you're not a rich white twink with a philosophy degree, then nobody cares about what you have to say. So, like, I care about what I have to say, and I understand that my ambiguous pain and large dose of LSD that I'm feeling right now are, you know, largely useless. Like, they don't really contribute to anything long term. But I will say that at some point I'm gonna get my shit together. It's just kind of a promise to anybody that still listens to this fucking nonsense. And a shout out to my diehard WordPressers that I don't know why you guys are still here, to be honest. What the fuck, man? I think that there are some people who understand what I'm talking about. There are some people who understand the lack of authenticity of queer representation. And I guess I am fortunate. I am envious. I am envious of ContraPoints. I am envious of Philosophy Tube. I am envious of all these. I'm envious of all sorts of different things. But I think what I am a bit more than a bit outraged by is the world's utter lack of interest in an assigned female at birth perspective. Like, I've been having a lot of crises. I sort of, because the truth is that trans women, they give up their masculine privileges to be women, but some of them can go back and forth. Some of them have both powers. That's a fucking fact. And I have both powers. But my original set of powers, so to speak, gets big old quotations around it, because I did not start from a social advantage. I did not start, and I know that that's like an extremely cliche and horrible thing to say in the queer community, but the facts are facts. I grew up in a sexist household that had patriarchal fucking rules. And in the household that I grew up in, I would have had a different fucking childhood. I would have. I knew it the whole fucking time. And I'm fucking mad about it. And it doesn't matter who you say that to. They're just like, get over yourself, you know what I mean? I don't understand why I have to just get over that. That's unbelievable. Like, why with these everybody else gets to be heard, gets the nuance, gets all the different things. I have to just move on silently. And I also have to just like pretend as if I don't have to get things like, transvaginal ultrasounds. I didn't. Nobody told me that I was going to have to do that on the reg. I have to do that every 2 years, I guess, just because I'm on HRT or something. I don't. Maybe I have a creepy doctor, but it's you know what I mean. There's a lot of things that I have to deal with that a cis guy doesn't have to deal with, including the whole life that I had right up until fucking now. And I guess what I am so depressed about is that my life has been so much better since I transitioned. And I would love to say that that's because I myself, I have transitioned, and I have, but I haven't had surgery. And I haven't had. The only thing that's really changed, honest again, is I've been on HRT, and I legally changed my name. And when I legally changed my name, the entire world was required to respect that I had a masculine name. Even if they didn't respect my body, even if they didn't respect me, they had to respect my name. And that was really something that started a shift with my understanding of everything, and I quite literally benefited from male privilege like pretty much immediately. Like it's kind of hard for me to just sit here and be like, that didn't happen. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say it's some sort of big deal. I'm just trying to acknowledge that when people say things like, I was born a woman, I've always been a woman, I was trapped in a man's body, and they told me they misgendered me the whole time. I find that story suspicious. I find that weird. Maybe it's because I am an intolerant asshole, and I'm excited to be the most intolerant asshole of all time. But I don't understand how that's possible. Like, I literally I had a dramatically different life experience because I used to be a woman. Like, I used to live as a woman in society. I had a woman's name, and everybody treated me as a woman. And then I changed my name, and I had a man's name. And then people were required to respect my masculinity and then disrespect whatever they saw fit afterwards. And to be honest with you, most people just don't disrespect me. Just most people don't. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, like, I really feel that I've immediately benefited from male privilege. The only people in my life that didn't immediately respect me more were envious sorts of queer people in my life. Other shitty friends, people who are fake, people who don't love their own masculinity, and people who don't love masculinity in others. That's just like a fact. And I think it would probably be very triggering to someone to meet a trans man if they didn't like being a man. But I tell you what, the only people that I meet who are mad when they meet me are gay people. Those are the only people that I've had a problem with since I transitioned. And it's kind of to the point where it's like, can I just be a leprechaun? Like, I don't like how I know that the LGBs don't want the tea, but what about the T's that just want to go live in the woods? Like, I am one of those. I don't even want to exist. I want to be anonymous. What don't you all understand? I'm not going to share a fucking picture. I'm not going to start being more active with my fucking Instagram. And if I ever become active with my Instagram, it will be a text-based Instagram. Yeah, you're all going to get fucking tortured with the poems forever. As long as you subscribe, you will get non-visual content from Mad About It. You know why? Because fuck the idea that queer, that trans, that any of this shit has a look to it. And fuck the idea that I express myself with my appearance. I do not express myself with my appearance. And if I do express myself with my appearance, the only expression that I am trying to make to anyone is that I don't give a fuck about it. That's I don't give a fuck about it. That's a privilege. I'm so, it gets so exhausting to tell people that you're transgender and for them to talk to you about your appearance. It's so exhausting. I don't care about my facial hair. I don't care about my bottom growth. I don't care about my face. I don't care about anything. I care about the way that my skin feels. I care about literally everything else that there is to be about being transgender. The way that you feel inside your own fucking body. And the truth is that no one can take that away from me. And I cannot post a picture of it. And I will not. I'm just saying. You have that promise from me. I will never post a picture of my trans joy because it cannot be photographed. It cannot be. And I'm kind of just like in this LSD trap world where it's like, I just wish people would let me be anonymous. And for that to be enough, I just want the anonymousness to be enough. I just would like the camouflage to be respected. You know what I mean? I should not have to, I share everything about myself that's human. Why do I need to share my face and my skin? That's what I get to keep for myself. It's fucking weird. Again, I've been watching way too many horror movies. Way too many. But that's all for now. I'm probably going to come out with some horrifying other episode when I sober up about like fat phobia. I've been literally seething about it. I've been like, am I a threat to like society? I quite literally am so angry about fat phobia. It's like, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna have to come up with some sort of like new word for me. Including my name. That would be a good start. Wouldn't that be nice? So yeah, I'll see you for Mad About It 2, I guess. Or whatever. Ta-ta.